My name is Frank Perry, and I joined the Marine Corps in June the 19th, 1962. Went to San Diego for boot camp, platoon 142. Got out of there and went to basic electronics school and on through that system. Wound up going to the Hawk missile training in El Paso, Texas for pulse acquisition radar and battery control central technician. Joined 2nd Land Battalion in 29 Palms in 1964. We mounted out during the summer of '65 for July. I went over on the USS Monticello. We arrived in July, and I don't have the date, but I've had some interesting stories here tonight. When we came off, I was on a shore security detail that got off first while the rest of the ships were anchored offshore. And two of the gentlemen here this evening met us on the beach, and we were instructed when we came off. We were ordered to lock and load, and we were, this was serious business. We got off, and they're sitting back there kind of waving at us, going, "It's a $50 fine." I think it's $50 fine with a round in the chamber, and $50 to have a magazine in the weapon. So it was $100 for each of us, and we're clearing the weapons as quickly as we can because we were just absolutely broke. But we spent the next year there in July, and H&S Battery, 2nd LAM, was stationed at the end of basically the end of the runway there in July. The worst thing that I can remember about going on, I mean, we had an occasional sapper attack, there on, but they were primarily after the airfield. But the A4Ds that Marines and the Navy were flying in and out, just the noise, constant noise, all day long, all night long on the runs. But after spending 2 weeks up in Da Nang, when I was on my way out, listening to the F-4 Phantoms going, we had no problem whatsoever. So I got out of there. I got a slow boat back to the States. I was fortunate to get to sail over both ways, thanks to Master Sergeant Coryell. And he said, you don't remember this, but when we got here, he said, remember how messed up these people were mentally that we talked to? And I said, yeah. And he said, you don't believe it, you don't know it, but that's us right now. And he said, I advise you to take a boat and go back and kind of get your head screwed on right. So did that, got out of the Marine Corps as soon as I got back to 29 Palms, and that was in 1966. Went to school on the GI Bill and worked successfully, I guess, for 30 plus years. The thing that has been most important about this experience to me, and I was talking to the Colonel about it last night, was when I got back to the United States from Vietnam, we didn't talk about what we did or where we'd been. Nothing was said. And we were quiet for years. Then my wife and I, in the last 5 or 6 years, she noticed I was sitting over there on a computer, doing something, and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Nothing." And what I was looking for was a few names that I could remember of the guys that I served with. And so when I told her, then she got on, all of a sudden, boom, she found one of the guys, and he was here this week. And since then, I mean, we hadn't seen each other for like 40 years, but we reconnected twice in the last 3 years, I think. 3 of the other guys were here for the first time that I haven't seen in 44 years. It's just an awesome experience. So I would encourage anyone, if you got the opportunity to do this, is to drag these names up and find them, because we're losing them faster than we should. So.
Do you think that may be happening with a lot of people that are all of a sudden are now wanting to talk about it?
I think, there's nothing, we've kind of figured out it's nothing ashamed of what we did. We did what we were asked to do. It was not a popular conflict at all. None of them are, except, I guess, the latest generation or whatever, or the greatest generation of World War II. But we did what we were asked to do. We did it honorably, and we're back, and there's no shame in that.
Absolutely.
So,
Good.
thank you.
Thank you.